Just another day to talk about the greatness of Jason Tatum. Hello and welcome back to the Morning Jackpot presented by SoBet.io. I'll stop you right there. The first thing you got to do this morning before you hop on this show, well, you can come join us and watch the show and then go sign up for SoBet. Use code Jackpot. You're missing out every single day. We're all having winning days every day, even if we don't have one opinion dead on, because you go on to SoBet, you hop on the app, you see all the picks, you're like, ooh, they're all on OKC money line. That's all I'm going to say. OKC money line, bang. Jason Tatum over 2.5 3-pointers, brick. So we have ourselves a very fun show today because not only do we have stuff to recap, we also have a lot of previewing and predicting to do. We got Minnesota-Denver Game 5 tonight in Denver. We also have Pacers versus Knicks Game 5. So 2 games we got to talk about. But last night in and of itself was quite eventful, to say the least. The Boston Celtics take a commanding 3-1 lead over the Cleveland Cavaliers, who were without Donovan Mitchell. And that right away presented an interesting matchup for both teams. I understand that when you star players out, you're probably not going to be as good. But if you're the opposing team, and let's take, for example, the Boston Celtics, sometimes, and I noticed it a couple of times during the regular season and maybe once during the Miami series, is you play down to your competition. It's a common trend when your superstar or your team isn't at its very best, and all the role players step up, start hitting all these threes. And so I'm sitting there watching the game last night, and I guarantee you the casual fan is like, why is this game close? Whereas I'm sitting here thinking, no, we're good. We're going to win the game. But nobody said it was going to be easy. We didn't prepare for a team without Donovan Mitchell. We prepared for a team with Donovan Mitchell. So a team without Donovan Mitchell is a completely different game plan. I get that it's not Donovan Mitchell, but you still got NBA players out there. You still got guys that have the ability to shoot. And I'm thinking about this last night. This is the first thing I thought about, actually. When the Cavs are in that game, I'm thinking to myself, how the hell are the Cavs in this game? But what did I just say? The 3-point shot. I think there was a time period where LeBron James just went to the NBA Finals and could just beat everybody and dominate. And there was a time in the game of basketball where one player could basically win the game for you, could take the ball for 48 minutes and just dominate at all costs and win the game. And I think now in today's NBA, more than ever, thanks to the Golden State Warrior dynasty led by Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, and Draymond Green, any team can win in any given night. And I'm not saying that wasn't the case necessarily back in the day, but take the playoffs, for example. LeBron never would drop a game in the playoffs because of his dominance. A lot of these teams, they never lost. Whereas I'm watching that game last night. It's a close game because the 3-point shot has given this opportunity to NBA teams and NBA players to basically say, hey, just because we're down 20 points or just because we don't have our superstar does not mean we're out of the game just yet. The 3-point shot has created this like quick, explosive run by NBA teams that you can just rely on. It's almost like when you start sports betting and you hit that big parlay, and then you're like, all right, I hit the big parlay. Let me go, do some straight bets. And then you start losing the straight bets. But you're like, in your head, you're thinking, I hit that parlay. I could just do it again, right? That's what NBA teams are thinking right now in this moment. Just because they're down 20 points, well, they have the 3-point shot. So they could just go back to that and just start chucking them up. And hey, if 4 guys on your team get hot, if 2 guys get hot and drain 6 straight possessions of threes, guess what? You're back in the game regardless. That's the NBA we're in today. And it's a fascinating NBA, but it also creates like, if you don't have Donovan Mitchell, you got a chance. If your team's the best team, you might not win. Like there's a chance where other teams can just outshoot you That wasn't the case back in the day. A team couldn't walk in to a LeBron James team and say, hey, we're going to shoot as many threes as possible and beat y'all. That was not the style of play. People figured that out over time. People figured that out with Steph. Steph broke that shit. Steph said, you know what? Just because LeBron is dominant and powerful and the best player in the game, I can shoot the three. And three is more than two. I know I'm going on a tangent here. Welcome to the morning jackpot. We have ourselves a show, to say the least, today. We got Lloyd joining. We got Nathan joining. It's going to be great vibes all day. We might run for an hour and a half today. Who the hell knows? But guess what? The Celtics are up 3-1. They're a game away from going to the Eastern Conference Finals. And there's like barely any excitement in my body when it comes to that. Like, I'm happy. Don't get me wrong. But if you were to ask me, Jack, how do you feel that the Celtics are a game away from reaching another Eastern Conference Finals? Well, frankly, I'm just tired of having to make the claim that Jason Tatum has been to this many Eastern Conference Finals and Jaylen Brown has been to this many Eastern Conference. Like, I'm tired of it. Just, I got my eyes set on one prize this year and one prize only. I might give my jabs. I might say Tatum going to go for 40 tonight. I might say Tatum going to hit 2.5 threes tonight. But in terms of the long run and the process that we trust, this is about banner 18 for the Boston Celtics, capturing the 2024 NBA Finals championship. So let's just quickly talk about what the hell went down in OKC last night, because I'm thinking to myself, Dallas at home, Luka and Kyrie. I mean, how do you beat that team? And then Nasty and Nathan came into existence. Yesterday, I was fairly convinced that Dallas was going to go up 3-1. Then Nasty came on the show, and Nathan was on the show all day. And they forced me. They forced me to take OKC. They said, you know what? There's no way that this series goes 3-1. It's a 2-2 series. And that's exactly what happened. What a game by OKC to show some resilience, some fight. I don't think OKC is going to win this series, but for them to go on the road and get that win was impressive. It showed that whether the time is now for OKC or in a couple of years, it's coming. They have the ability. You get a road win against Luka Doncic and Kyrie Irving, and I'll give you some flowers. Now you got a home game, game 5. Do I think you win that? I don't know. I would probably bet Dallas to win game 5 and honestly close it out in 6. Some people think it goes 7. I don't hate that. I mean, it's a best of 3 series at this point, but when you get to a best of 3 series against Luka Doncic, you're kind of cooked. And he hasn't been playing that well. So you got to imagine that he going to come in game 5 and just tear you up. So Dallas is going to win game 5, but it was an impressive win by Oklahoma City in game 4. We have the Pacers Knicks game 5. We got Nuggets T-Wolves game 5. Tonight is going to be an interesting one just because seasons are on the line. So when we bet on sports, you got to find the motives. You have to find the storylines. Now, Nasty said it yesterday. You can't always rely on storylines, and I tend to rely on storylines too much. But in a situation where it's a game 5 in the playoffs, this is a perfect time to say, hey, all right, what are the storylines? Well, for the Pacers and Knicks, you have the Pacers, a team that shocked everybody this year. Offensive run and gun system, shoots the lights out, and their storyline is that this big New York Knicks like resurgence, like this new life for the New York Knicks, Jalen Brunson, this whole team, the Pacers have the ability to shut them all up, to just do the unthinkable, think the unthinkable. The Pacers storyline is simply upsetting the Knicks and making all of America fairly happy. I mean, I don't know if that would make America happy. I would love to see Boston versus New York in the Eastern Conference Finals. But on the other side of it, if you're a Pacers guy, if you're Indiana here, the storyline is you don't really have much to lose. I mean, you tie it back up 2-2. Everyone counted you out after it was 2-0. Same with the Nuggets. And now it's 2-2. You have a chance to go in the Garden. You've been the better team. I think the way I watch the Lakers versus Nuggets series is the same way I'm watching this Pacers Knicks series, and I'm not surprised by it. The Pacers have been the better, better shooting, better team, better people, better pizza. Papa John's. Wow. The Pacers are the better team. The Knicks are they're probably going to win tonight. The storyline for the Knicks, though, is they have to get to an Eastern Conference Finals. That's what their goal has been since the start of the year. They deal with injuries, so it becomes a lot harder, but you kind of say, you know what? Who cares about the injuries? We're the New York Knicks. We set our goal. Let's go accomplish that goal. Everyone's dealing with injuries. The Celtics, they don't got their guy, Kristaps Porzingis, right now. Give me a break. New York, just get the win. Game 5, Jalen Brunson. He played horrible in game 4. Horrible. And every shot he took was short. So I'm looking at Jalen Brunson in game 5 to say, hey, go do your thing. But if his legs are a problem, if he's short on his first 7 shots or the first 3 shots in the third quarter, I mean, is New York running out of gas here? They might be. So there's some storylines floating around Pacers Knicks game 5. The series is tied 2-2. If I had to guess, I would say the Knicks are going to win game 5, and then they're going to win game 6. But in an alternate universe, the Pacers steal game 5, the Knicks win game 6, and then anything can happen in game 7 in MSG. That's a hell of a storyline. Let's talk T-Wolves Nuggets. So T-Wolves go up 2-0. Nuggets come back 2-2. After the T-Wolves went up 2-0, all of America started to say that Anthony Edwards is the next Michael Jordan, but better. And, I needed people to slow down on that one because I've been trying to get to that claim for 3 years with Jason Tatum. It doesn't just take you one playoff series to say that. I'm sorry. Like, I at least waited until Tatum got to the finals to make any of those ridiculous claims. Or did I? But anyways, Timberwolves, when you're up 2-0 and you don't win a single game at home against the Nuggets, all momentum has switched. The Nuggets are the better team. They're playing like it right now. They're more confident. And they get the home game. They get to go back to their home crowd, a crowd that they just disappointed for back-to-back games. Denver does not lose game 5. Anthony Edwards talking all that talk. Jamal Murray talking all that talk. The altercation after the game. It disappoints me, the fact that the media is still trying to find every little thing to highlight Anthony Edwards for when their team does not win. All y'all would do is shit on Tatum the entire time. And yet Anthony Edwards, they don't win. T-Wolves don't win game 4, but Anthony Edwards has a 44-point game in the loss. I don't care. They lost. 44 points means nothing if your team loses. That's all I'm going to say. We got Mr. Frog in the chat. Shout out Mr. Frog. Shout out Mr. Frog for being the first chatter of the day. We appreciate you. We're waiting on Nathan here to hop in eventually, and then we're going to have Lloyd for the back half of the show. But I'm giving y'all, my little scoop on things, just where my head's at in terms of these series. But I'll just break it down. Oh, we got Siri popping off. Siri just randomly goes off on my computer sometimes. It's the craziest thing. All right. So if I had to guess, and by guess I mean an educated guess, and by an educated guess I mean an expert pick, the Nuggets are going to win game 5, and then they're going to win game 6, and the Timberwolves season is going to be over just like that. Who the hell would have thought that the Nuggets would win 4 straight games? And yet that's exactly what they were always going to do. It was always Denver in 6. Always. So Don't overcomplicate things. Don't think that Anthony Edwards is going to turn into a superhero. He scored 44 points, and it wasn't enough, and they weren't really that close. That should tell you that Denver has found a way to stop Minnesota. They didn't in the first 2 games. That's okay. You adjust to that. I got flashbacks when Denver goes down 2-0. I'm thinking to myself, how is Denver down 2-0? How did they get into this position? It was a lack of effort, a lack of proper game plan against a very talented team. But more importantly, they needed to make adjustments. And they did. They played better in game 3. Aaron Gordon looked like Nikola Jokic in game 4. And now it's a 2-2 series. And I'm like, bro, Minnesota is cooked. Minnesota is not as good as people make them out to be. I get that it would have been a hell of a series if we got to see Anthony Edwards versus Jason Tatum. I understand that. But the 2 best teams are Denver and Boston. And we've known that all along. So what do you want? The next face of the league battling it out in the NBA Finals, or do you want the 2 best teams battling it out? Because me personally, and you all know what team I'm cheering for, I want the best team. I want the best comp. I don't want Minnesota. They're not that good. I don't want Dallas. I don't want OKC. I want the Denver Nuggets. That's the team that I want to be playing in the NBA Finals. That's the team I expect to be playing. Mr. Frog saying Nathan slow. Yeah, he is, bro. He hopping out of bed or something. Nah, he was up. He was up, and then he said he'd come on in 5 minutes, and, we've done 17 minutes. So that's okay. Nathan had a bang last night. Whoa. He had a bet that hit that he texted me about. You know what's the craziest part about Nathan, bro? I've turned off some of my ESPN notifications. And so, like, if I ever fall asleep early and I don't get to see the result of a 10:30 game or the result of the final NBA game in that given night, instead of getting an ESPN notification, I just get a Nathan text. It's pretty electric. I mean, I'll like wake up at like 2:30 a.m. randomly. I'll like grab my phone, roll over, and see. And Nathan just says, bro, you won't believe it. I hit the biggest bet of my life. And I heard what Nasty said. I knew that he was on OKC. And midway through the 3rd quarter, I had a couple beers. And I said, you know what, Jack? I'm placing it. And I woke up to Nathan sending me a bet slip of a $100 play, hitting a $250 play for OKC money line live. So Nathan coming on here today, he going to be feeling extra good, extra special. I called him in the morning and I go, bro, are you up? Because the text that he sent me, I'm like, he must have been, boozing a little bit. So for him to have to wake up at 8 a.m., that's going to be a difficult thing, right? So he calls me. He's like, oh, I'm good. I'll be up. And this is probably 7:20 a.m. his time. This is our pregame show. He's like, I'm going to be up. Don't you worry. I'm going to be there. Right before the show starts, I'm going to be on in 5 minutes. I'm thinking to myself, how is he up? He hit a $250 bet. He's texting me at 1 a.m. saying he's drunk. And he's about to appear on this show. No way. Nathan not coming today. Nathan not coming today. Hey, prove me wrong, Nathan, if you're out there. But trying to think of like some player props that I could lean towards tonight. We got Blake. We got Lloyd's Locks coming on at around 8:30. So stay tuned for that. That's in about 10 minutes. But until then, would appreciate it if some people drop some comments, some questions in the chat. I'm happy to answer any questions until we get Lloyd on here. And, obviously we got 4 series right now going on. We got the Celtics with a commanding 3-1 lead. We got OKC tying it up 2-2. We got the Pacers Knicks tied 2-2, and we got the T-Wolves Nuggets tied 2-2. I mean, you can never ask for anything else. Oh, my mother just texted me and said the WNBA starts tonight, I think. Okay, so let's see if Caitlin Clark plays and if we can take her over on threes. WNBA score. When season? Let's look here. Tuesday, May 14th. Is that today? Yes, it is. The Fever are on at 7:30. They're plus 6.5. All right, fellas. I know this is an NBA show, but I got a play of the day. We got to find Caitlin Clark's over on threes. Is it at 2.5? I feel like that's too low. I feel like they should be giving her like a 4.5 line. She about to be banging in those triples. All right. We got a chat from Mr. Frog. See what we got here. Do you think Jokic was slacking off the first 2 games of this series? I don't know if slacking off was the right word. I feel like a lot of times we tend to be a little disrespectful to Nikola Jokic, and I'm all for it. Like, bro, shit on him all you want. If a brother doesn't want to love the game of basketball, then be my guest. We're not going to appreciate you either. But Jokic, there's a little sarcasm to him. There's a little sarcasm to him that I think I've grown to appreciate. Like, bro, I didn't like LeBron in 2012. I didn't like him in 2014, 2015, 2016. I grew an appreciation for LeBron James over time. By 2018, by the time that Jason Tatum dunked on LeBron James, I had gotten to a point where I'm like, yeah, LeBron's that dude. There's nothing that we can do to stop him. He's the greatest of all time. And you just got to give him his flowers. I ain't giving no flowers to a 22-year-old named Anthony Edwards. But do you think Jokic was slacking off the first 2 games of the series? To answer your question, no. They didn't play good. They didn't play with the right game plan. Anthony Edwards came out there and punched him in the mouth. But how many games can Ant do that for? How sustainable is it? And is it a recipe to win? Because if your best player is going for 44, yeah, that's probably a good way to win. Or is it taking away from others? A guy like Cat has to play better, right? But I think this was more about the Nuggets staying strong because Minnesota could have grabbed one at home. If the Nuggets didn't play their best basketball, Minnesota could have grabbed a game at home. So that shows me that the Nuggets were on their shit. They came in there focused. And I'm going to say it again, Aaron Gordon. If the Nuggets literally have created another Nikola Jokic, then we're all screwed. Aaron Gordon looks like an all-star. He looks great. I'm not scared of Aaron Gordon, but if Minnesota is trying to deal with Aaron Gordon, Rudy Gobert and Karl Anthony Towns, say what you want about their defensive abilities being really tall. They can't guard Aaron Gordon. They can't guard Jokic either. So, if you ask me, Minnesota's done in this series. See, these are the comments that I truly appreciate. It's when people recognize greatness in the moment. It's not about after a career is over. It's not about, hey, let's watch LeBron go for 25 years, hate on him for 25 years. And then when it's all said and done, maybe the last couple of years, just be like, hey, don't leave. And then when he's gone, everyone be like, oh, LeBron's gone. We miss LeBron. No. Appreciate greatness while it lasts because that's the best moment of it. Those highlights are only going to be highlights. The memories are only memories. What I witness in a given night is current, present time of greatness. If you asked any old head right now, hey, you want to go to a 1986 Boston Celtics game and watch that Celtics team again? They're putting the phone down. They're saying, give me the keys, get in the car, and let's go to the Boston TD Garden for a 1986 Boston Celtics game. You ask any old head, hey, you want to watch MJ right now? You want to time travel? You want to go back in time? You want to start watching MJ again? You want to see one more game? People would do anything. People would do anything to grab that present moment greatness and to be able to see it in person or just in present time. Watching live sports trumps all. Say what you want about highlights, waking up the next morning and seeing Jamal Murray's game winner. It was not as good as if you saw it at 12 a.m. that night after a 20-point comeback when nobody thought that the Lakers would lose that game. And here we sit, Jamal Murray just hits a game winner. There's something about live sports, and it all connects to appreciating greatness. And when I see everyone hating on Jason Tatum and not appreciating his greatness, it reminds me of what everyone did to LeBron. And speaking of LeBron, he was at the game last night. So LeBron was sitting courtside for the Cavs Celtics game 4. And a lot of people would be like, Jack, that probably means that LeBron wants to go to Cleveland next year. LeBron wants to do his farewell tour in Cleveland. I had a different view. I had a different perspective on that. Swirl up your rumors. Get ready for this one, fellas. If I'm the Boston Celtics, I draft Bronny James with my first-round draft pick. If no other first-round team's going to do it, like if we get to the 30th pick, if we get to that final pick in the first round and Bronny has not been selected and the Celtics are on the clock, I take Bronny James. Do we get LeBron? I don't know. I don't know if we get LeBron, but I'm taking Bronny. I like Bronny. I want Bronny. I think Bronny in 5 years could be a Drew Holiday. No ifs, ands, or buts. Say I'm talking crazy. Say he's just LeBron James' son. Bronny James is real. He's good. And if you have the chance to draft him to get LeBron too, I mean, I'm not going to pass that up. I get it. The entire state of Massachusetts hates LeBron James with a passion. I would draft Bronny. If you don't like LeBron, draft Bronny. We'll take Bronny if he's available. I don't think there's another guy in the NBA draft this year that we should take with that 30th pick. Okay, here we go. So, Randy, my opinion on this is with NBA draft, with the NBA draft, you can't judge a guy based off of what he did at college. Obviously, it's important. You can use that as something to judge him off of. But for a guy like Bronny, who had to deal with what he dealt with at the beginning of the year, and it was not the typical freshman season for anybody. So you cannot base that against Bronny in any way. What you can do as an NBA organization is make an investment. If you don't think that Bronny James can go play point guard or backup point guard for your team right now, then draft him, develop him, and play him. Look at Jordan Love. I'm not trying to cross sports here. I get it. One thing's football, one thing's basketball, but NBA teams make investments all the time. Bronny James going in the first round would not be the worst first-round pick in the history of first-round picks. That's all I'm going to say. There have been busts at the number 1 overall pick. There have been dudes who haven't made it past year 5 in the top 5, okay? Bronny James with the 30th pick by the Boston Celtics is not going to set back the Celtics. It's going to give us a chance, the best chance, to freely grab LeBron James for his final 2 to 3 seasons. I'm not saying it's going to happen. I'm not saying like I'm from the future here. I'm predicting the future. I'm telling you what the Boston Celtics should do during the NBA draft. Your target doesn't need to be Bronny. I expect another first-round team to have a similar mindset, an under-the-radar similar mindset. A team with the 23rd pick should strongly consider just being like, hey, let's draft Bronny and see what happens. Because I don't think grabbing LeBron James for 2 to 3 more years is that bad of a thing. It's honestly something that most people passed up on when Tom Brady got to this point, and Brady won the team he went to a Super Bowl. So I don't want LeBron, respectfully, but I want Bronny. I do play 2K. I do. Bronny projected to go second round. Yeah, no, I knew that. But that's why it's like you could grab him at the end of the first and nobody's going to expect it. I don't know. LeBron to Cleveland probably seems like the most wholesome thing to do. LeBron to LA seems like the most simple thing to do, but I'm going to be very honest. If LeBron was still in LA, if LeBron was still going to stay in LA, if LeBron was going to play for the Lakers next year, don't you think he would have already announced it? Don't you think he would have made it set in stone by like halfway through the season? Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe he's holding it out for leverage. Maybe he's holding out the idea that, hey, I'm not going to say shit so that the Lakers are forced to select Bronny. But are we really going to get to the NBA draft and LeBron still hasn't given us an indication of where he's going to play? And then whoever drafts Bronny, that's where LeBron goes. I don't know if that's the case. I think it's more of a LeBron picks and then Bronny gets drafted by that team. And it's like nobody drafts Bronny until that team comes up in the second round or he goes undrafted or whatever it is. But you're telling me a first round team can't just pick Bronny James and be like, oh shit, LeBron, what you gonna do now? I think maybe that's why LeBron's holding out. LeBron's not going to be a Laker next year. That's all I'm going to say. He's done in LA. His time is coming to an end in LA. What more does he have to do with the Lakers? He showed he won a championship, and he also showed that it's really hard to like figure it out in LA. It's really hard to like have a team that can compete for a championship every single year. There's so many missing pieces. They have new role players every year. It's a tough thing. Whereas in Cleveland, Boston, it's a little bit different. They kind of keep the continuity. It's just, if I'm LeBron, I go to Golden State. Don't you think that LeBron and Bronny sat down and had a conversation? Like one night, Bron goes to Bronny and he says, so where you want to go? What's your ideal situation? What's your ideal team to start out with? Because at the end of the day, Bronny has the luxury to pick where he wants to go. If Bron wants to finesse it for him, Bronny can pick where he wants to go. And if I was Bronny and my dad was LeBron and my dad came to me and said, hey, Bronny, you want to go to Golden State with me? How do you say no to that? How? I don't think Bronny wants to play for the Lakers. I think Bronny would be better off getting developed under Steph Curry, Chris Paul. I mean, the Warriors have a backup point guard in Brandon Pajemski. That's a guy that can teach Bronny some things too, but I'm sorry. Bronny James to the Golden State Warriors makes the most sense. LeBron James to the Golden State Warriors makes the most sense. You heard it here first. Thoughts on Cooper Flag? Gonna be a Hall of Famer. He'll be the number one pick next year. You're gonna see some teams tanking. Whoever gets Cooper Flag is gonna be a lucky duck. Nah, Randy, he doesn't need another year of college because he can just go to the NBA and develop, even more in an NBA locker room, in an NBA atmosphere, with the NBA weightlift programs and, just everything NBA is always better for a guy like Bronny James to develop. He's going to get the experience right away. He'll get thrown in a mix. And even if he doesn't play like right away, he's going to get stronger. He's going to be practicing with those guys. It's just a lot better to be in a Golden State Warriors situation than a USC situation. I think you can have this type of numbers. You can have the type of numbers that Bronny James had and declare for the NBA draft. There have been much worse basketball players that have gotten drafted, let alone declared. I said it before. I'm going to say it again. NBA teams make investments all the time. And I truly believe that Bronny James in 5 to 10 years can be a very, very good version of Drew Holiday. And I don't hate that. I mean, Drew shoots the three. We saw Bronny's draft combine. He didn't miss from three. He's jumping out the gym. Those are literally, and he plays defense. Are we just spreading hate to Bronny James because of his last name? Because I think he kind of just proved what his abilities are. He plays defense really well. He jumps out the gym and is an athletic freak and has the genes of LeBron James. And he can shoot a three. What more do you need? What more do NBA teams need to see to be like, yeah, let's draft this guy? It's a no-brainer for me. I'm taking this guy in the first round. If I was the San Antonio Spurs, I would take him with the 8th overall pick. But maybe that's just me being crazy. Maybe that's just me being crazy. All right, well, before we have any of the fellows hop on here, let's check out SoBet. Let's see if SoBet's got any plays for us today. But make sure you hop on SoBet.io to tail along with us. This is the morning jackpot presented by SoBet.io. We're gonna hop on SoBet here. We're gonna see if there's any early action. See if any early leans by some NBA guys. What do we got here? Let's look. All right. Oh boy. Tough day. Time to crush some baseball. White Sox money line. Hey, that's me. Yeah, it doesn't look like they have any bets out yet, but as you can see, a lot of people had OKC last night. We're gonna wait like probably 10 to 15 minutes until we can, see if we can find a SoBet play of the day. Yesterday, the SoBet play of the day was OKC money line, and that shit smacked. So it's a good day to be a good day. Don't read my shoot. Don't read my shirt. Get screwed. Screwball. Peanut butter. Whiskey. Where the hell is Lloyd? Where the hell is Lloyd? Can't wait to see what the fellas say about the Celtics. Yep. Just It's it's getting a little ridiculous at this point, don't you think, Randy? Everyone coming in here, everyone just hating on us. They're always hating. Comment in the chat if y'all have any good player props for tonight that y'all would take. You know, we can never win as Celtics people in this world, and that's okay. But boy, oh boy, anytime we win by 25, it's like we should have won by 30. Anytime we won by 5, we should have won by 10. You can't win, and that's when you just got to don't listen to the media. And I know that I'm the media. Don't listen to the assholes in the media. Listen to me. I'll give you encouragement, Jason Tatum. But don't listen to the assholes in the media, because all they're trying to do is just tear you down, create storylines for how your downfall happens, when in reality, you create your storyline. You don't have to downfall. They want you to downfall because you're the Boston Celtics. Don't feed into it. Let's I'm gonna pull up. Celtics. I'm gonna pull up the 2 games from last night real quick. Jesus, bro. What if I just started singing? Like, what if I just got on here one morning and I just came with a set list of like 10 songs that I just belted out for y'all instead of, giving out picks. But tonight, Denver and the Knicks win. Okay. I need to find some player props. We need to find some player props. If my friends don't strand me. Like, bro, why did I just get a 25-second ad for this video, too? That's actually crazy. Another ad, bro. You like DiVincenzo over 2.5 assists. I like it. That's a low line, but he probably, how many, do some research for me. How many times has he went over that in the last 5 games? And what is his assist been in the last 5 games? Give me those numbers. All right. I'm going to call Nathan. I'm going to put him on the spot right here. Bro, why does nobody like me, bro? All right, Blake, you better pick up.
Holy shit, my dog.
Hop on.
Get on right now.
Yeah, get on. You're good. All right, bro. Peace. Blake! Blake's coming on. The day is saved. Blake might be one of the dumbest humans I've ever met in my entire life, which is why I love him so much. But how the hell am I going to call you at 9:47? You were supposed to be on this thing at 9:25. I call him at 9:47. Hey, buddy. He goes, holy shit. Oh, what'd you forget? My stream? He better come in here with 6-0. 6-0 of plays. I need 6 plays that are going to win me $1,000 so that we can do a 6-teamer. Put them all together and make the greatest Lloyd's lock of all time. But damn, bro. Nathan didn't even pick up. Nathan must have bailed. I told y'all the story earlier in the episode. This dude is hungover. He's not well right now. So he picked up the phone 40 minutes before we go live, and he's like, yeah, I'm coming on. I'll be ready. So then I call him 5 minutes before. He goes, give me 5. He definitely fell back asleep and has not woken up. This is a message for all of you out there. If you snooze, if you stay in that bed and you say, I don't want to get up, get up. Because when you go back to bed, you miss a stream. You miss the opportunity of a lifetime. You miss greatness. It's like a lot of people missing out on LeBron's greatness. He'll be back on tomorrow. We're going to give him shit for it. But Lloyd's coming on here in a second, and we'll talk the play of the day. We'll get Lloyd to give us the locks, and we'll move on with life. Let's see. What do we got here for some player props? New York's only minus 2.5. Let's see. See if that works. Please work. Mr. Frog, it is 12 a.m. So you got yourself a nice little late night show. Like, this is early in the morning for us over here in New York City, but looks like a late night show for the Oz. Knicks are minus 2.5. Denver's minus 4.5. Why does that line feel fishy? We got another play. Randy, Miles Turner over 7.5 rebounds. Let's see what he's hit over the last couple of days. If you're new to the stream, make sure you subscribe, hit the like button, sign up for SoBet. Use code Jackpot when you sign up. All you got to do is just go to the SoBet.io website and sign up. Have yourself a joyous time over there at SoBet.io. Oh, here we go. The fella's in it. We're in business.
Yeah, can you hear me, buddy?
Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you just fine.
How you doing?
I'm doing great, Lloyd. Listen, whether it's 10 minutes that I get with you, whether it's 45 minutes, it don't
That's
matter
right.
because
That's
you're
right,
coming in
brother.
here. You're coming in here, and although I cussed you out right after right after the phone call, I hang up the phone and I go, Lloyd, and then I go, if this motherfucker doesn't come in here with 6 locks, I don't want 5 locks, 4. I want a 6-teamer to put $10 to win 1,000. Get me out. No, I'm kidding. Just give me a couple of plays and we can talk some NBA and get out of here.
Yeah. Well, we have my favorite play in a long time is today, and actually I'm gonna go to DK right now because I want to make sure that it is still at what it was at last night, dude. Because the game got canceled yesterday. It was in the White Sox Nationals game. It is Trevor Williams versus Chris Flexen on the mound today, and it was a 3-unit play for me. I had the first 5 under. I liked it a lot. It was at 4.5, and then I found 5.5 at minus 150. I'm gonna make sure that it's the same just so I can get everybody. See if we can get on the train together.
What made you really like the fact that it went from 4.5 to 5.5? Wouldn't that scare you, if anything?
So, dude, the first 5 under 5.5 is at minus 195 right now.
Yeah,
And it's just going up like crazy. Well, I mean, obviously 5.5 is just another run. Like I love that. It's the fact that they had to score 6 runs in the first 5 innings of this game. It's pretty difficult. And Trevor Williams has been great. The only problem would be Chris Flexen because he has gotten absolutely rocked. He got rocked early in the year. He's gotten it together over the last 3 starts. And both these teams just can't hit. So I was kind of more relying on the fact that both these offenses are just horrible and kind of going from there. But under 5.5, minus 150, 3-unit play for me. It's the biggest play that I've had all year in baseball. So that's the biggest play on the board today. It's the minus 150. I gave it out yesterday on Soba. If you guys were there, it got canceled. Obviously, I rebet it right away when I found out the game was postponed because then obviously the game was going to be today. That game's at 3:40 today. So place that if you want to place that. The only other thing is Phillies first 5 minus 140. It's the only other bet that I have right now. I'm going to cap the rest of the slate. I capped these 2 last night because of the first 2 games of the day. I do like the Phillies again today. They're going against Buto. I think it's Aaron Nola on the mound today, which is always great. So, wait, what's the play? Play is White Sox, Nationals, first 5 under 5.5, and Phillies first 5 money line. I took Phillies first 5 money line yesterday, and they absolutely sold it. Christopher Sanchez
and they came back and won the game.
Walked in a guy. Yeah, and they scored 3 runs in the 8th and combined in the 8th and 9th inning and win the games. Ridiculous.
Because the Phillies are a team that I continue to see posted on SoBet. It seems like the Phillies are a very consistent ride all year long. And Nasty said something very interesting yesterday, and I'm curious if you do this during a regular season baseball instead of just the NBA playoffs. But it was this idea that just because Boston is they were minus 11.5 yesterday when D Mitch gets ruled out. They were 7.5, but at home they were minus 12.5, minus 8.5. It's been a big number all series long. And Nasty's advice was, if you think Boston's going to win the series pretty comfortably and they're the better team, then you take Boston and whatever their spread is every single game. You don't go back and forth. You stay on Boston spread the entire series. You're going to be profitable. Would you say that in the MLB? I'm seeing Phillies minus 0.5 first 5. I'm seeing Phillies money line every single day from somebody. So maybe it's just a favorable play, but are you someone that likes to kind of create a pattern in your plays and go like, if Phillies hit here, I'm going to do it again and I'm going to keep doing it. I'm going to ride it for the rest of the year. I'm just going to hammer Phillies money line.
Yeah, no, I definitely see what you're saying. For me, the Phillies is just. I mean, obviously Aaron Nola's on the mound today, so it's a little bit easier. But again, like I really thought they were going to get it done yesterday. And the fact that the Mets are they're an atrocious offense, especially as of late. Yesterday was kind of a fluke thing for them to score 3 runs in the first 5 innings. They haven't scored 3 runs on the first 5 innings. That's 4 games. So again, with Buto going out there again today, I think it's again, fuck it, it's laughable, but it's a system play because it is just one of those things where it's like, dude, the Phillies are a wagon, bro. I'm not gonna lie, they're probably the team that I've bet on the most, and they always find a way to get it done. I know yesterday they didn't, but it's like more often than not, the Philadelphia Phillies are going to have a leverage in the pitching matchup, and especially if they're going against a lefty at all, it's almost an auto bet. But even I think today they're going against a righty too in Buto, and I still think that they get it done today.
All right. Well, we had 2 NBA last night. We talked.
Yeah.
Well, I talked about it for most of the show, but I'm just curious to get your take not only on what's going on tonight, but what happened last night. So, first of all, the Celtics win Game 4. It was kind of like close for a little bit. I explained early in the show that whenever your star isn't playing, whenever like Donovan Mitchell gets ruled out, or if Jimmy Butler's not playing in that first series, the Celtics team has a tendency to play down to their competition and not necessarily like be all locked in and playing their best basketball if the other team doesn't have their superstar out there. And last night, for the first time, I was like, nah, they got their shit together tonight. Boston brought it. They played good defense. They played pretty solid offense. Didn't make every shot they took. Not going to shoot as good as they do at home, but they played pretty darn good on the offensive end. Tatum had a decent night. Brown had a decent night. Everyone played well for the most part. Cleveland just shot the hell out of the ball. And that's one of those where you got to just say, that's nothing that the Celtics did wrong. I get that it was a close game, and without Donovan Mitchell, everyone's watching that game saying Boston should be up by 37 points. No, this is the NBA. And what I explained was that Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, and Draymond Green created this thing in the NBA where no lead is safe. And if you're down by 20 points against any team, it does not matter. That team can shoot 8 threes in 8 straight possessions and hit all 8 of them, and then they're winning the game. That did not used to be the case back in the day. That's why LeBron used to be so dominant, and now it's not like a one-player show anymore. It's all these talented guys, but anybody can win in any given night. So what was your takeaway from Boston? I would say another impressive road win to get this thing to 3-1. They're going to close it out in 5. Wrong?
Yeah, no, I 100% agree. I think last night was very impressive. I didn't get to watch a lot of the Mavs Thunder game last night because I was watching baseball, but I watched the Celtics game last night. And dude, you know what it is, man. And I feel like in sports betting too, it's like this. Whenever, and I'll cover this first, and then we'll talk about the actual game. But whenever there is a star player that is announced out in the game, right? So the original line, the Celtics won by what, 7? Didn't they won by 7 last night, right?
Yeah, I don't think they covered the 12.5.
Well, I'm talking about before it was 12.5. Before Donovan Mitchell was announced.
Someone get us a score in the chat. I'm not looking it up.
Chat. Give me the score, because I'm almost positive that before Donovan Mitchell was out, I think it was 7.5, or it might have been 8.5. I'm not too sure, but it was right. It was hanging right around there, dude.
7, 8,
and then the second that he was announced out, it went to either 12.5, 13.5, one of the two or whatever. And then Donovan Mitchell, he obviously did not play. 109, 102. Okay, so they didn't cover anyway. But I feel like when a star player is announced out, dude, that you should just bet that same side, because I feel like every time that the stars are out in big games, their team still covers. That is something that I do want to bring up, because I feel like it's insane. I think Trell, I think I saw it on Instagram last night. Trell put like 3 units on the fact that the Cavs would cover the 12.5 because of Donovan Mitchell being out. And it's just like such a weird little thing that happens every single year. I feel like we're like, even like last year, like when Giannis was out or whoever it was, I feel like somebody else had a big injury last year and did this a ton. But anyway, I do love that for Boston. Again, up what 3-1 now? 3-1 heading back to Boston. It's gonna be tough for the Cavs, man. I don't know exactly what even was wrong with Donovan Mitchell. I don't know really why he didn't play. But I mean, honestly, Celtics down the stretch. I mean, that was kind of the more impressive part of the game, dude. It was like 3-4 minutes left when it was a 5-point game, when it was a 3-point game down the stretch. To
You got to
be able to
prepare
still,
yourself for those
yeah, I mean,
situations. Like New York,
no, you do, yeah.
Bro, look
Yeah.
at game one. Was it game one or game two? New York versus Indiana, and New York won the game strictly because they've been in the late game situations and Indiana has not. And like everything just broke down. Can you still hear me?
Yeah, I hear you, bro.
All right, but I don't know why. Like I just got 12 alerts that everything disconnected. But yeah, I'm very happy that we won, but I'm also just like waiting for some
Are we live?
Yeah, we're live. Can you see it? I think we're live. Yeah, it says we're live. Can you hear me?
Okay. No, I can hear you, but you sound like you're not coming through your microphone. You sound like you're coming through your computer, which is fine. I can still hear you pretty good. But it does sound a tiny.
How about
now? Oh, that's perfect. There you go. Right back. Yeah, you're good.
Yeah.
Okay,
So
we are live. Okay, perfect. Yeah.
Definitely, the computer definitely hit me with a little disconnect, but we're back. We're chilling. Everything's okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah.
But
Okay.
no. But dude, I kind of my last point here on the Boston thing is Tatum has showed up, and he definitely showed up. It's especially pretty much in the last two games. But do you see, bro? Like, and again, I know we've talked about this a ton. Whenever he shows up, bro, it's almost like Derek White played really bad last night. But like these guys can have off nights when Tatum does what he does. You know what I mean? Like when Tatum has a night like he does. Like, and it's not a difficult scenario. And I think that when him and Jaylen Brown are both doing their thing, like, and they're both, just getting in space, creating good shots, like getting good opportunity to actually get, go in, get paint touches, get like Jason Tatum got this spot a ton last night. Do you know how many faders this dude took in the paint last night? A ton. He made almost every single one of them. So it's like, dude, like when he's doing that stuff, like we said, bro, the Boston Celtics are so good because of the pieces, right, that they have around them. This is why they're good. They're not good because they have Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. Obviously, they're a good basketball team because they have them, but it's everybody else. It's Drew Holiday, and it's Derek White, and it's their defense. And I know Porzingis is gone, but when he's back, like, and then when Tatum goes off and Jaylen Brown go off, it's just like, dude, like you could argue that they're unbeatable because you're just not going to do it. And I can tell you right now that there's not a team in the Eastern Conference going to do it. So, like, I still even think, and again, I think the Pacers Knicks game, I'm assuming game 5 is tonight. I think that, God, man, like if I'm not gonna lie, Jack. I know we talked about this a lot, man. I think the Pacers might have a better shot.
I think so too. And
I don't want to
say it, but I don't want to say it because it's like New York, Boston. Oh my God.
Yeah.
And then you're just like, bro, Indiana's
dude.
better.
Yeah, they
Indiana's
are.
making more shots.
They're better. And dude, honestly, like that series is just going to be like a track meet. Like I know Boston's pace isn't like the best either, but Boston's defense is so good. And the way that the Pacers run, bro, it's the only way that they're probably going to be able to keep up with it because, dude, we see what happens to the Knicks, bro. If Jalen Brunson has a bad game, what happens to the New York Knicks? Oh, they lose. They lose every time. So it's like, dude, and how many, especially if you go into TD Garden, game 1 of that series, if it's the Knicks, you don't think that Jaylen Brown or Derek White or Drew Holiday, I could sit here and argue that they're probably 3 of the best on-ball defenders in the league. You don't think that Jalen Brunson's going to have you don't think he's going to have a mediocre series? He's not going to play great every night. So it's like, dude, you have to give it to the Pacers, I feel like.
Blake, if we do get to Boston versus New York, it'll be the first time that a team has actually guarded Brunson the right way. And I saw
Yeah.
Indiana do it. I saw Indiana do it in game 4. They did it right, which is throw every type of defender at Brunson, throw 7 different options, pick him up at the half court line, have a hand on him at all times, double team him, get the ball out of his hands, make him tough, and make him take the toughest possible shots. Boston's defense, it's not that hard to guard Jalen Brunson. And when I say that, I want people to realize, like, one-on-one in the NBA, if you're an NBA player and you get one-on-one coverage, that puts a smile on an offensive defender. That puts a smile on Jalen Brunson's face when he gets one-on-one coverage. But when there's the double team, he's forced to get rid of it and have guys like Josh Hart and Dante DiVincenzo try and beat us.
Make plays.
New York is not that good. You just got to have some smart defensive strategies.
Well, and like you said, Jack, I think that, like, when it comes to New York, man, their pieces around right now, their pieces around Brunson and, you know, the exterior pieces that they have in that offense, it's right now, it's not good enough. Where I could argue, right, that the Pacers have at least a better offense to hang around with Boston, bro. Because Halliburton, Jalen Brunson,
they beat us in the in-season tournament.
No, they did, but again, like, why? Because Tyrese Halliburton went like nuclear, right? So,
who would
like,
you rather take?
Like, then who? Who?
Halliburton or Brunson?
Oh man,
like I know that everyone in America thinks that Jalen Brunson is this MVP right now. I get it. Give you flowers. What he's done for New York, you get him to a 2 seed. They're probably going to the Eastern Conference Finals. Fine. Tyrese Halliburton's a better basketball player. He's someone I would rather have on my team. No?
I'll say, I would agree with that. Like, I actually do kind of agree with that. Jalen Brunson is the better player. Tyrese Halliburton, Jalen Brunson's a better individual basketball player. Tyrese Halliburton is a better team basketball player. And again, I think that Tyrese Halliburton and the Pacers will go further. I think they win the series. But dude, I just feel like for the New York Knicks, Brunson is everything. Where for Tyrese Halliburton, I feel like he is also everything, but in a different way that allows you to be able to win pretty much at all costs.
People are like, please take your shots, Tyrese. Whereas Brunson, it's like nobody needs to tell him to shoot the ball. We need to tell Tyrese to shoot more threes.
But like, you know that when Jalen Brunson walks on the floor, bro, like, and is Knicks pay it's tonight, right?
Yep. That's the first
game.
What's
it? Dude, let me go to Jack.
2.5. The line is at 2.5. Makes it
for Knicks.
That's why I'm like, the Pacers win this game. Now, the line can't be 2.5 if the Pacers don't win. The line should be 4.5. The line should be 5.5. Am I wrong, Lloyd? Why the hell is it at 2.5?
Oh man, I hate that. I don't like that at all. And the Nuggets, Timberwolves they're at -4. Dude, like, again,
Denver's
you hate but like, you hate to bail out the Knicks, bro. But like, this is one of those spots where, you know, tonight, Jalen Brunson, like we said, bro, he's gonna shoot 40 shots tonight. Mm-hmm. So, and that's the thing with New York, bro. Jalen Brunson goes for 48, right? And they win by 4. That's how they win their games, I feel like. Like,
they also win at home.
Like, and then they just can't win on the road. So, and if you're the Pacers right now, you have to go get one at Madison Square Garden in order to win this series. Is it tonight? I would say it's probably your best shot, because you're coming off. You're coming off a blowout win where you just did everything that you wanted to do. I mean, you had everybody went off. Buddy Hield, Obi Toppin, Halliburton. Everybody was doing their job and doing their thing. And so it's just like, you got to pick and choose your spots, especially betting the Pacers on the road. But like, tonight's not a bad night to do it, just because. But that place will be rocking tonight too. That's the only other thing. That place will be against New York, they win, pumping, dude. And I'll tell you what, when you go back to Celtics for Game 5, that TD will be absolutely bumping too. But like, tonight, Give me the Pacers, dude. I just think they're the better team. I'd rather have Tyrese Halliburton because he does more for my team. He does more for my team. There's more ways that Tyrese Halliburton can beat me than Jalen Brunson can beat me. Jalen Brunson can only beat me by taking 45 shots a game and scoring 50 points. Tyrese Halliburton can either score 50 probably, or guess what? He can go for a triple-double, or he can just have 10 points and 25 assists, or he can hit 8 threes. So there's a lot of different ways that he can beat me. I would rather have him, like long term, I would say.
Dude, isn't this an indicator that Vegas thinks that the Pacers are a better team and that they should win the series? Because if you're a 7-point favorite in game 3 and then a 5.5-point favorite in game 4, and then you go back for game 5 and New York's only a 2.5-point favorite, that line is fishy, bro.
Yeah,
that shit makes no sense. Like,
I want to see what everybody's on,
but,
real quick.
bro, you gotta understand. You gotta understand. Every time I say something like negative about the Knicks, they prove me wrong. Anytime I take the Pacers in this series, the Knicks win the game. Anytime I take the Knicks in this series, the Pacers win the game. So I should shut up. That's why I have you on to talk your talk, and you're saying Pacers win game 5.
Okay. Do what? I mean, bro. What? No matter what, you're right, bro. Because
this series is unpredictable as shit.
Because it's just it's one of those. It's kind of one of those weird ass series. I just want to see what if I can log into this, bro. Damn, it's not gonna let me, bro. Fuck. I just wanted to see what the sharp side was and what everything was. But I think that let me see real quick. Yeah, so 53-47. So I mean the public's kind of more on the Pacers a little bit tonight. Yeah, bro. One of those weird series. Again, I think the winner of this series, I mean, obviously, then we'll have the Eastern Conference Finals, and I just don't think either one of these teams are better. Excuse me, than the Boston Celtics, bro. And that is one of those things that it's just probably not going to matter who wins this series because Boston should take care of business anyway. And as far as the other series, the Mavs OKC series, you know what, man, I didn't get to watch the game last night. I heard about the Mavs blowing the lead. Can you give me a little bit of rundown of what happened? Because I was watching the game. They were up by 16, I was watching it 16-14, I think. And then I didn't turn the game on, went and watched the end of the baseball game, came back and was and then went downstairs and it was like they lost. So I was like, what happened?
Yeah, I think there's something wrong with Luka. And maybe I'm just making excuses right now, but I don't think he's right because
he was breathing heavy, wasn't he?
There's not a game, bro, where it means everything. A chance for Dallas to go up 3-1, take a commanding lead, and basically send OKC back to home, where they're gonna then get let down in game 5, and it's gonna be a gentleman sweep. And Luka doesn't even score 20 points. That to me is like he's your star. He's your scorer. If Tatum don't score more than 20 points, everyone is on him the next morning. Nobody's saying I haven't got an alert about how Luka Doncic is overrated this morning. That's all I get when Tatum doesn't go for 20. This is Luka Doncic. He has to go for 40. He has to go for 35, or else his team doesn't have a chance.
Yeah, no, that is true. Did Kyrie play good?
I don't think so either. Mavs were up by 15, 16, then blew it. It was 22-6 in the first quarter. Apparently Luka missed a couple of very big foul shots. That was the I also
was that kind of the extent of it. What is wrong with Luka? Is he actually injured? I know everybody's just saying. I know he said after game 2,
I think he's European.
Game 3, that he was like, dude, my fucking body hurts everywhere. And it's like, Luka, that's great, but where? How does this help anybody?
Yeah, no, I think he's European. He's literally a soccer player playing basketball.
Yeah.
Every time he gets touched, it's like someone just stabbed him with a knife. Every time he gets touched, it's like Mike Tyson punches him in the gut.
Right.
You're okay, Luka. Everything's going to be okay. You don't have to be dramatic about every time that you get touched and you have
Dude,
to
and
flop.
that's like, and that's God, and I know I don't want to have this conversation right now because we will have this conversation for the whole next hour. But this is why, dude. Me and God's what's up, Randy? Yeah, they were down with 12 seconds left, and he missed his first 2 free throws. Yeah, that sucks. But dude, like going back to the soft thing, like just I know we brought up Luka, but like how NBA players are kind of soft in general.
Mm-hmm.
The whole thing where like guys from the NBA could just play in the NFL. I think that's crazy. Like, and I know you have like somewhat of a take on this. Let's go. We can go over with like literally like just a couple minutes, but because I don't, we will talk about this forever. Because me and God's got like an argument about this. But I just want to. I just like, dude. I
could create an NFL starting offense that would beat an NFL defense. I would. My NFL starting offense of all NBA players. Give me an O-line, but give me all NBA players as my offensive positions
as the skill positions
against let's just say who I'm trying to think.
The Bengals. We don't have the best defense.
Give me the worst defense. I don't need the Bengals. I don't need a Super Bowl contending team.
Okay, give me the worst defense in the NFL last year. I believe it was
like the Jaguars.
No, they had a good defense. Titans defense is really, really bad. Yeah, Titans defense is really, really bad. The Raiders defense is really, really bad.
All right, no. I don't want the Raiders. Because they got Crosby. He's gonna sack Steph Curry. All right, I'm gonna build you my team right now. I'm gonna just give you my. I'll give you a quarterback.
No, hold on. Not here. Now, hold on. While you're building your team, yeah. So the take was from Austin Rivers. He claimed that there's about 30 NBA players that could go play in the NFL. There are no players from the NFL that can come and play in the NBA. Now, I'm not saying that's not true, because that's not my personal take on this. I do agree with him that there are more players in the NBA that could probably have a chance to play in the NFL, right? More than there are vice versa. Now, my problem with the take was that there is not 30 NBA players that can go play in the NFL, because when they talked about this openly on the show and how he talks about this on the show, right? And Austin Rivers, he's a dookie, love him, right? But I don't know how he gets even rain to open his mouth. The guy played 12 years in the NBA, averaged 8 points a game. So my point for this, bro, was that there's not as many as they're saying, and it's a little bit harder to go play in the NFL than you guys are thinking, bro. Everybody's just like, okay, dude, fucking Anthony Edwards is fucking athletic. Okay, yeah. Bang. Throw him on the football field. He'll be a dog. No. Have him get absolutely lit on fire by Luke Kuechly and see what happens to Anthony Edwards. The kid will be crying for 5 weeks, bro. Like, Jason Tatum would be an elite wide receiver. Throw Jason Tatum out there with Sauce Gardner and tell him to have fun. Jason Tatum's going to want to be dead by the end of the day. So, like, this was my point. It was like, dude, I get it. There are more people. Now, look, I can name a couple guys from the NFL. Imagine these NBA players having to learn a playbook, bro. A whole ass playbook. They just play pick and roll basketball. That's all they do is play pick and roll basketball. Imagine these guys got to go learn a playbook, bro. They can't do it. None of them will be able to do it. It is still harder. It's not. There's not more guys. More guys can play in the NFL. Just because of pure athleticism and raw ability. Yes, there's not 30 of them. And these NBA players, they would fold like lawn chairs in the summertime when it's 97, bro, because of just exactly how soft some of these players are, dude. Like LeBron, yeah, okay, throw LeBron out there, sure. Throw Zion out there, sure. Okay, there's like 2 guys. All right, the rest, Anthony Bryce brought up, or somebody brought up Anthony Davis. Like, Anthony Davis wouldn't last 5 plays on a football field, dude. And just because of how much you're mad, like, dude, they wouldn't be able to get hit. That would be the problem. They would not be able to get I mean, you know how hard these motherfuckers hit in the NFL, dude? They hit like monster trucks, bro. And you're telling me that Jason Tatum, who cries about every foul call, and Luka and LeBron and all these guys that can't take any contact are going to go play in the National Football League? I thought the conversation would need to be talked about a little bit more because of the way of how Austin Rivers and Pat McAfee covered it. They were just like, okay, yeah, I mean, I guess obviously basketball players are more athletic. It takes more skill to be a basketball player. It's actual skill to shoot a jump shot. Then I guess that they could be, obviously they can go play football because they're more athletic, where you can't just take somebody that's in the NFL. You can't take Micah Parsons and go put him in the NBA. You can't take Joe Burrow and go put him in the NBA. I understand that.
But those are your best options that people are saying. People are saying that CJ Stroud and Parsons are your best options. So that's why it's like, that's why the debate becomes, all right, can you actually form a team of all NBA players to play in the NFL against an actual NFL defense? And I'm here to tell you right now that you can. I'm not doing offensive line. That's ridiculous.
That's fine. Here, you have the Lions offensive line.
Okay. My starting quarterback is Steph Curry.
Yep.
My running back 1, Zion Williamson. My running back 2, Tyrese Maxey. The speed at the flex position of Tyrese Maxey, a third down back like Tyrese Maxey. Oh my God. People have been saying Russell Westbrook. I'm like, bro, I'm not putting Russell Westbrook on the football. No. He's going to try and lateral that shit right before he scores.
Yeah.
All right. No. Then I get here. This is what we're going to do. Career. I go 3 wide receivers and I go 2 tight ends. All right. So wide receiver 1, Kevin Durant. Wide receiver 2, Anthony Edwards. Wide receiver 3, Jaylen Brown. And then my 2 tight ends, tight end number 1, LeBron James. Tight end number 2, Jason Tatum. I don't think that team could put up 28 to 35 points against the worst defense in the NFL.
Yeah. No, I agree. And again, you can make a solid team. Like making a defense would be hard, I think. Because then you just have linebackers, you have actual safeties.
No, you actually have to tackle people. You actually have to tackle people. Like, you're telling me right now that there's a tight end in the game of football that is better than LeBron James? Maybe Travis Kelce, that's it. And even then, I would probably say like LeBron would be that much better than Travis Kelce.
But again, dude, like I don't know. Like, do you think that LeBron can like shed a block, beat somebody off the line, and go run an actual NFL route?
Yes.
Okay.
Every possession.
Then fair.
He would be Gronk. He would be Gronk, but to a different level. The only concern is, can Steph Curry throw the football? And to me,
Steph is slinging. I'm not worried about Steph. I'm just worried about
Tom Brady in the pocket.
Yeah, like dude, that would be like my thing. Because I told Guts the other day, because he was like, dude, you put Anthony Edwards anywhere, and I was like, dude, like have Anthony Edwards guard Tyreek Hill and see how fast he wants to stop playing football. Just because, like, I mean, like, dude, like, see how quickly he wants to go back. Because it's just like, have him guard Devontae Adams. Bro, he'll be in a spin cycle. He'll be in a tornado all day with the way that Devontae Adams runs routes. So it's like some of these guys, like, to say, I think the thing that I thought was crazy was, yes, there's more people that can play in the NFL than the NBA. But they basically, everybody's only reason for it was the pure athleticism and the skill, because you have to be more skilled to be a basketball player. As a guy that played both basketball and football at a high level, you have to be a very, very skilled athlete to play the game of football. And just pure athleticism, whether it's catching, running, because it just doesn't matter. I just think it's it's way more difficult than everybody makes it seem. And like, dude, these wide receivers are some of the
Like,
most skilled athletes in the world, bro. They are some of
it's
the
not
most
that.
skilled athletes in the world. And
I don't
that's the
think it's that.
problem.
I don't think,
Dude,
bro.
yes, it is, bro.
We played.
Yes,
No,
it is, bro.
you and I, we were hoopers, right?
Yeah.
Me personally, I was always a hooper. I love the game of football. I was a Tom Brady fan, but I never put myself out on that football field with pads and a helmet. I only did the 3-on-3 with your high school buddies. And
Right.
I looked like prime Julian Edelman, prime Adam Thielen out there. So as a shooting guard basketball player that never played football, my athletic ability, I'm able to go out on the football field and look like prime Adam Thielen. LeBron James can be the best NFL tight end wide receiver of all time if he wanted to. Kevin Durant, Anthony Edwards, Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, they are all better than any version of Jamar Chase, Tyreek Hill, Justin Jefferson, like they're all better than the NFL wide receivers. That's the difference between the NBA and the NFL talent. I'm sorry.
I think that one's up there with maybe the most ridiculous thing you've ever said in your life.
All right,
that one's up there. You've said I've heard a lot of Mr. Cody takes my life. The fact that, dude, like you don't think like Justin Jefferson is one of the most athletic people on the planet.
But LeBron would make Justin Jefferson look like this.
I think
you on everything,
if
bro.
I had LeBron James guard Justin Jefferson 10 times in a row, Justin Jefferson.
It's not about guarding. It's not about guarding. Ask Tom Brady.
10 balls. He catches all 10, by the way.
That's
10.
Fair. I don't want nobody playing defense. I'm talking about straight up ability and skill. If you ask Patrick Mahomes right now, if you ask Tom Brady, if you ask Josh Allen, if you ask Joe Burrow, who do you want running routes for you? Justin Jefferson or LeBron James? I'm taking LeBron James if I had that option.
Okay. I mean, I'm not laughing
at. I think it's so good. I think that's such a good take.
But oh man, I don't know, dude. Like, okay, dude, like LeBron James is playing tight end. Like, why can't I think of a linebacker right now? You're telling me Fred Warner? Fred Warner is covering LeBron. Bro, Fred Warner, LeBron's not catching the ball.
It's that
LeBron's not catching a ball against Fred Warner.
All right. You were right about this. We could talk about it. We could literally talk about this.
No, you can talk about this for forever, bro, because it's such an interesting conversation, and you get to the point you start touching everybody's almost like you start touching like the league personality traits. Like the NBA is kind of soft, so can the NBA hang? Or like the NFL has also gotten soft. You can argue. So it's like, yeah, like it's a funny conversation, but I thought it was crazy how much backlash the NFL was getting for being like the most athletic place on the planet. I thought it was very, very strange.
Yeah. We'll wrap this thing up with a little Nuggets Timberwolves preview for tonight. There's piss coming out, so I'm gonna go take a piss real quick. I'll allow you to go crazy for about 2.5 minutes if the people want to listen to the Lloyd's Lock spiel on Minnesota versus the Nuggets tonight. But I'll be back in a minute and a half. Take over, brother.
Appreciate you. 10:30 tonight. My time, or I believe on the East Coast, this is probably Eastern time. It is the Minnesota Timberwolves, Denver Nuggets, man. This is what, game 5? We're tied 2-2 now. +4, Minnesota's +4, Nuggets are -4 tonight. The over-under is at 205.5, -175. And remember, fellas, use code Jackpot. Get on SoBet. I know we've had a lot of guys this past couple weeks making a ton of money on there. Obviously, I have myself got our 4th straight green week in a row. We're going for 5 this week. We have a 3-unit max play today that I gave out live on this show. And I gave it out yesterday. It already is at -195. Is -150 last night. First 5 under 5.5. In the White Sox Nats game. I also have the Phillies first 5 money line today as well. So there's a lot of guys posting great stuff on there just all the time for you guys and all your sports betting needs. So I don't have the there we go. You guys see me? Okay, cool. I don't have any of the buttons, so I don't know exactly how to do all this shit, but we're good. So T-Wolves, but again, get on SoBet, man. Use code Jackpot, link in bio or somewhere around here. Get on SoBet for all your sports betting needs. And join the best sports community in the entire world, baby. Now T-Wolves Nuggets, man. We're tied 2-2. Denver Nuggets have made their return or called for their vengeance, as we would say, because Anthony Edwards took the world by storm in game 1 and game 2. And now all of a sudden everybody is reminded that, oh, wait, hold on. Nikola Jokic is like the MVP like every year. And also the fact that they're the defending national champions or finals champs. And the fact that Jamal Murray can play ball. Now, Nuggets -4, T-Wolves +4. I don't want to say it's dead, but
Wolves are cooked.
I have a very hard time believing the Timberwolves can win this game tonight. And I think the Nuggets -4 is the right play. Again, man, you go back at home after losing 2. And again, I think Shaq said it the best, man. You know that Anthony Edwards is going to be ready. So you're not worried about Anthony Edwards. You know he's going for 35 tonight, minimum. Minimum 35 coming from Ant tonight. Mm-hmm. But it's everybody else.
But
he's left alone out there.
Denver learned in game 4 that Anthony Edwards can go for 45 and we can win. That's not the case with a team like the Celtics when Tatum goes for 45. That's why I don't think Anthony Edwards is the superstar that everyone's making him out to be just yet. Because if you want to go for 45, you have to impact your team.
Still a superstar.
He's a
super. He is a superstar.
He's a star.
Right
he's a star that's approaching the
Jason Tatum is also a superstar. Anthony Edwards is a superstar. They're both superstars. Okay. Because this series has a chance to be close, but Nuggets are going to win in 6 or 5. I actually think this series goes 7 games.
Yeah. Nasty said that yesterday.
And we get back to Nuggets. And the Nuggets do it in 7. Because it's not that easy. It's not that easy to turn around a series in a blink of an eye. I know you won 2 games, but the reason that they won 2 games, we talk about this on the show all the time, Mr. Cody, is that not only did Jokic show up, but Jamal Murray. Dude, like for me, bro, it's like, oh my god, dude, like Nikola Jokic can go for a triple-double, and the Nuggets can still lose. The Nuggets are all up to Jamal Murray, bro. And I know Bron said that MPJ killed him. He was the guy. Yeah, he was the guy. But again, who hit the game winners? Jamal Murray did. And
bring up Aaron Gordon too. I think between Jamal Murray and Aaron Gordon, those 2 guys make Denver that much better. Dude, when they play well, they're unstoppable in many ways.
Bro, it's almost like if they play well, they just don't lose. So it's just like that's where there's a fine
Aaron
line
Gordon turns into Nikola Jokic 2.0, you're like, what the hell do we do with Aaron Gordon? We got to deal with Jokic because Aaron Gordon is damn near an all-star when he's playing at his best.
No, he is, bro. And then it's like, dude, well, okay. And this is the hard part about the Nuggets, bro, is there's so many ways they can beat you. And we talk about this with the Celtics too. But there's so many ways they can beat you, right? Because they can do it in pick and roll with Jamal Murray and Jokic. They can play that game they can seriously play pick and roll every possession if they wanted to, because it's the best pick and roll in the entire league. It's not better. Because you want to know why it's so good? Because Jamal Murray has step back right and step back left. He has step back right and step back left.
And then he has kick out right and kick out left.
Or the lob to Aaron Gordon, or he'll go take it himself. So they can play pick and roll all game long. They don't need to, right? Because then they also can go post touches with Jokic, who has either the, let's say the drop step in the post, or the turnaround, obviously, or the kick out 3 to MPJ, or the oop to Aaron Gordon. Yeah. So they have so many different ways they can beat you. And I just think Jamal Murray is like, what's the mitochondriac, bro? He is just the center of fucking the mitochondriac is the center of the cell. You remember this? You remember this, buddy?
Failed fuck out of that class, bro. I failed.
Did
bro,
you really?
over the course of 3 years in high school, you had to take biology, chemistry, and then you either got to go up to the big thing in senior year or you got put down in anatomy. Biology, chemistry, anatomy. I've never been so bad at 3 classes in my life.
Yeah,
C,
we're really
D,
bad.
F. I mean, it's a tough subject.
Yeah.
So that
it
caught
is.
me off
It's
guard.
a tough subject.
Mitochondria, never
Yeah.
thought I'd hear that ever again in my entire life. So thanks for bringing up
you're
those
welcome,
nightmares.
of course. Well, just doing my best to educate the audience and the youth, man. You know what I mean?
Failed out of
Again,
science
dude,
class.
I think Jamal Murray is the guy, bro. And I just think that when he plays well, they play well. And I just think tonight, if he plays well, this game should not be close. And the fact that it's at home, he should play well.
Yep.
Give me the Nuggets -4. Over under's only at 205. That's kind of crazy.
MPJ did not. MPJ didn't shoot the ball that well in Game 4. I don't even think he made a 3. So
yeah,
I would take his over on threes in Game 5. I think MPJ is just one of those guys you got to live with the ups and downs of the shooter, but when he's due, you know he's due, and he's gonna come out slinging. He could hit that shit in the first quarter. But
what's MPJ threes? Let's see,
2.5, probably at like -120 or whatever it is.
It is.
I mean, Jamal's over under is so goddamn low for such a good player.
2.5 at -105.
Jamal Murray's over at like 22, bro. Like that is
Jamal Murray's at 21.5.
Yeah,
bro. Like that's what I'm saying, bro. Like for Ant's at 20. It's at 29.5. If Ant goes over, you don't know if they win. If Jamal Murray scores more than 21 points, they win the game. Without question.
Yeah. But you also can't overreact to a slow start from Jamal because he's the closer in many ways. I mean, he had like 7 points. He had 7 points in Game 4 at halftime, and then he, including that big 3 at the end, and then finished like 19 or whatever it was. So he has better second halves. I don't hate Jamal Murray 1.5. I don't hate that at all. We got to find one play that is the morning jackpot SoBet play of the day, because yesterday it was OKC. I threw in Tatum over 2.5 and it bricked, but we're just gonna call it OKC because that's what Nasty gave us.
Tatum bricked again,
bro. He hit 2. He has 2 by halftime every single game, then he does not close it out. He does not hit that third 3.
Dude, that is so funny. I actually I got on Score Mobile yesterday to purposely check if Jason Tatum, because Gutsy took Jason Tatum over 7.5 first quarter points. And I was like, dude, did that shit hit? And he had 14 after the first quarter. Yeah, and he hit a bunch of threes. And I was like, damn, he's already hit 2. He's finally gonna fucking do it, because I saw that fucking graphic where it's 0 for 8. His threes prop is his playoffs, and then he fucking bricked again. That's crazy. The lock of the day.
But he had a 30 ball. I mean, we probably shouldn't. Not Knicks. I don't think we go in the Knicks Pacers game. We could kind of. I think consensus we're going here with the Pacers to shock the world, but that 2.5 line, that's a tease. It can't be a lock. So
it can't be. I mean, there's obviously a reason why it's back down. I mean, because obviously, like you said, this should be 5.5. We should be starting at a 5.5 ball game. But again, bro, just like that to me is just a stay away game. Like as a bettor, like as a fan, as a fan, like as an actual bettor, like tune into to that for a second. I would never bet this game, because I want to bet the Pacers. The Knicks are back at home in the Garden. You have no idea. Jalen Brunson can score 65 points tonight, dead ass. And the 2.5 is nothing. That's literally one possession, bro. So literally the spread is if you just think who's going to win. Because you're not betting like the 114 on the Pacers. You might, if you're either taking Pacers money line or Knicks spread, because The spread 2.5 is not big enough. The game will be differentiated by more than 3 points.
What Nasty said yesterday when he saw the OKC Dallas line, I come in here, it was like -2, it was like -2, -1.5. And I'm like, I think Dallas is going to go up 3-1. And he said, no, OKC wins this game because A, we get it back to 2-2. That's the kind of motive behind this. OKC needs to win this game more than Dallas needs to win the game.
Right.
But also Vegas was giving us a 1.5 line, which made absolutely no sense for a second game in the row. It's like, when you get these crazy weird lines, you just got to read them. You got to understand, what is Vegas telling us here? Well, they're telling us that because it's 2.5, the Pacers are going to win the game. The Pacers are the better team. Now, could the Knicks win?
Yeah.
Sure, but I would expect a 5.5 line. Why the hell is it at 2.5? Because they think the Pacers are actually going to win.
Well, I'll tell you. I'll tell you what. The line being what it is right now. If the Pacers win this game tonight, you might see an 8-9 point spread going back to Indiana for Game 6.
Yeah, and
which is crazy.
And New York wins that game outright.
And New York could win that game outright. Yeah, and that could be the one, right? Because both these series really good. I mean, and I think the winner coming out of the West is
out of those 4 teams, bro.
And the Nuggets T-Wolves series. So the winner of that is going to the fucking finals, bro.
What's the toughest? Rank them in order of toughest comp to easiest comp between the 4 Western Conference teams, Dallas, OKC, Denver, and Minnesota. How would you rank those 4 teams for competition against Boston?
Oh, wow, against Boston. I didn't expect it to be thrown in there at the end.
Well, that's what.
So who do I? Well, I just thought you meant like competitively, like through the, you know what I mean?
No, Boston's going to be the Eastern Conference representative. What is the toughest? What is the toughest opponent for Boston?
Denver by far. It has to be Denver, bro. It has to be Denver. I can make this quick. Denver. See, but it's just tough because Luke is not healthy. I would put Dallas at 2, but I can't because I don't think in Minnesota will be able to get done. See, I agree with real life time, but dub, because that's the exact word that I would say. But Luke is not healthy, so because dude, Dallas could give problems, bro. They got size. PJ Washington's hitting every fucking shot. He's now more lengthy defender that can take a little bit more of a role. If Luka's doing his thing, good, then we're on track. And if Kyrie's hooping, we got serious issues. This is like Denver's 1, Dallas 2, Minnesota 3, only because I don't think if you get that Minnesota team all the way to the finals, they'll have enough gas, bro. I know Ant will. But again, we're not worried about Ant. We're not worried about him. He is a superstar in his own right. Can he win games? Yes, he can. But he's also not going to be able to carry this team all the way on his back, bro. So they will run out of gas, and OKC has no shot.
I'm trying to look through my TikTok.
Maybe I'm sleeping on OKC a little bit.
No, I think everybody is. I don't think I wouldn't buy.
Are you sleeping on OKC?
I'm sleeping on OKC. I was sleeping on OKC last night. I was like, no chance they win this game. And I had a ticket in the pocket and I woke up with $50. So feel good.
Very nice.
What was I even going to say? Oh, I was trying to bring up on that little deck in Nashville, you know, your little porch or whatever you want to call it. I made a video grittying, and it had the board, you know, so the board's bouncing up. I'm grittying to a song, and I'm like, the NBA Finals next year will be Celtics Mavericks. So if that's right, then I'm basically the closest thing to God.
To being an actual wizard.
Celtics Mavericks. I mean, I've always thought it's Boston Denver, but
was it Harry?
There's a world where, well, there was a world until Denver kind of woke up. Minnesota woke up the beast, which is probably the worst thing that could have ever happened to the Celtics in many ways.
But
if Minnesota somehow still beats Denver, they get to the West Finals. OKC beats if Dallas beats OKC and we get Dallas versus Minnesota in that West Finals, I'd probably take Dallas to win that series.
And I think I would too. And that is the but again, we don't know the case on Luka right now, so it makes everything a little bit difficult.
It's tough. I feel like he's just being dramatic. I don't think he's actually hurt. But then it's like he doesn't score 20 points. So what are we doing?
Dude, something's wrong with him. The 5 minutes of that game that I watched yesterday, bro, you just tell. Like something is wrong with Luka. Something is off. Something's not right.
Yeah.
He's on the bench, grabbing his chest, grabbing his knees, grabbing. I don't know. Luka just is not.
He just always looks
not there
like
right now.
He looks like he's run a 26-mile race before every game.
Yeah, he does. Yep. And this is all of a sudden. This is all of a sudden too. He didn't ever do this.
No, I mean his play style is more slow. Like he shouldn't. I just don't get it, bro. I
not even like his play style, bro. He just always is. He was never like that. Like Luka, I felt like was not the guy that I was worried about. Stamina. You know, like you said, bro, he fucking walks half the damn time he's on the goddamn court. He's walking, bro.
He's driving
like Luka.
He's literally walking.
He's walking to the basket, bro. Luka will walk there. LeBron will run there. Luka will walk there, bro.
Tatum will run too. All right. Before we get out of here, I'm gonna go on SoBet. Let's see if we can find a quick play of the day. But I'm looking at Jamal Murray over 21.5. You know our leans are Denver.
Yeah, I like that.
I like that. All right, let's create some chatter. I'm looking to middle this Nugs Wolves game, and while entering the lab, it seems logical. The Nuggets are 18-6 straight up this year on win streaks of 2 or more when favored by 4 points or more, but they're 8-14-2 against the spread. The Wolves are 4-0 straight up, and when dropping 2 or more in a row, and 3-1 against the spread. Something's got to give tonight. Who's everyone leaning towards? So basically what he's saying is there is no data to pick the winner tonight.
Yeah, basically.
Oh, we got a Knicks -2. Let's see the reasoning. Knicks -2. Teams returning home for game 5 with the series tied 2 after dropping 2 in a row on the road are favored a staggering 32-13 straight up. The Knicks are -2 tonight, which I'm comfortable laying the points. Yeah, no shit, because it's 2 points versus a higher on the money line. I think Brunson and co bounce back at home and get a favorable whistle at the end, which can help cover the 2. All right, fella, if you need help covering the 2.
Yeah, covering the 2 is kind of crazy. Go up. Let me see that Phillies money line real quick. Go up. One more. Who is it? Who is this? This is What Up? Let's go. I love What Up, bro. I wish I had more analysis on these. This team is a top 5 easy team in baseball, and betting them on the money line has been disgustingly profitable. Buto has performed well, so I can see this game closely through the first 5, but I think Nola can manage this game. See, and like I agree with this take, but I just don't think the Mets are probably going to score any runs. Like Aaron Nola's kind of due for like one of them electric games. I think it happens today. Which is kind of why I love the Phillies even more. I know a lot of guys that like to put the bullpen into factor. I'm a first 5 guy.
Yeah.
I mean, Gutsy just kind of taught me the ways. So I do agree. Shout out. What up, bro? Yeah, hit you, bro. Yeah, bro. Hit that NBA button. I'm trying to see if anybody else has any more plays on those NBA games. I'm probably going to bet the NBA games. I want somebody to have a Pacers ticket.
I don't think there's any Pacers tickets out there yet. Knicks. Oh, here we go. Holy shit, Lloyd. Holy shit, we're taking the Pacers.
TP.
Yeah, we have to fade fucking TP.
Knicks are the second best ATS team, and it's a max. The Knicks are. Ah, man. I mean, it's so tough, bro. Phillies money line. God damn, everybody's on the fucking Phillies today. It scares the piss out of me. Yeah, it sucks. Damn.
All right, so Lloyd,
TP's max plays the Knicks.
That's what I'm saying. Like, what do we do? What do
That
we do?
scares the fuck out of me. That does not make me very excited. What do you
We have
do?
to fade. We have to
Stick with our
fade.
guns. We roll with our punches, brother. That's what we do. Pacers.
Yeah, but
Give me money line.
TP3 is like one of the more reliable NBA guys on SoBet.
Oh, TP Prince, bro.
Yes.
TP
So
Prince.
how do we?
TP Prince. You know what we do? He had the Nuggets -4 too, didn't we? We just fucking unload a clip on the Nuggets -4.
I think that's what we do. I think that's the play.
Because there's no
I don't
data in
mind
that game anyway. And again, sharps don't even know what the fuck they're doing. So, yeah. Nuggets -4.
All right.
Fucking
You heard it here
green.
first. Nuggets -4. Take the max out for it. Make sure if you want to check out all the plays today on SoBet and not miss out on any of the action, including some of Lloyd's best bets. We got Gutsy. We got, hey, maybe I'll post, fade it. But
hey, there you go.
But anyways, that's going to do it for the morning jackpot. Make sure you subscribe, hit the notifications button. Come check us out on YouTube, SoBet_app. And sign up for SoBet. SoBet.io. Use code jackpot. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. We are live at 9 a.m. Eastern time, 8 a.m. Central, 6 a.m. Pacific time if we got any West Coasters. And, today we did an hour and 51 minutes. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. All right. That's going to do it. The morning jackpot.
See you, fellas.